but Benazir was conspicuous by her absence.
She has not denied it, that she is having some discussions, some dialogue, some kind of a deal, with the military dictator.
Musharraf has really walked through that alliance by, succeeding in, dividing them. Now Benazir Bhutto is very pro-Musharraf. She's ready to talk to Musharraf. She's ready to work with him.
And what do the people of Pakistan think about the leaders in waiting and this faraway politics? The value of the Karachi Stock Exchange has risen more than 5-fold since Musharraf seized power. Investors say they like the stability he brought after what they say was a decade of economic woes under Bhutto and Sharif. This is the reality on the ground for businessmen like Hamid Ali Khan, owner of a British-style cigar bar.
You know what? Life is very good. I hate to say it, because I was brought up to believe in democracy. I was brought up to believe, in a great process of elections and all of that. But you know what? As a businessman, I think he's done a great job.
And the working class people do not seem to be much bothered about politics.
Why should people be interested in politics? Politicians always fulfill their own interests and leave. That's why people have backed away from politics. Politicians only advance their own interests.
I have no faith whatsoever in these leaders who left the country in a difficult time just to save their own skin.
If that is the case, then why does Musharraf want to hold elections?
I think Musharraf now needs to, completely rewrite his script and create new alliances. Those alliances which are also saleable in the West. He needs to create a political facade. Army is taking the knocks, is taking the hits, direct hits, by being, active in politics.
At home, Musharraf is facing pressure from some people who are refusing to be the yes men to the military. The strongest opposition has come from this man, Justice Iftikhar Chaudhry. He delivered judgments that went against the government. Then, Musharraf suspended him on charges of misconduct and abuse of powers. But Justice Chaudhry refused to obey his order.
The judiciary, for the first time, has asserted, and not judiciary itself, just one judge who just refused to go when he was actually asked to go. And then the lawyers who are on the other side of judiciary, they are not with the judges. The bar and the bench are two different things, but they stood. I said, you cannot just, decide about everything.
It was the straw, the catalyst that rallied people from different opposition parties and civil groups to come together. Now the government has decided, according to the press, to withdraw the charges of misconduct.
Soon after his reinstatement, Justice Chaudhry delivered the judgment paving the way for Nawaz Sharif's return to Pakistan.
The judgment which came a few weeks earlier for the reinstatement of the Chief Justice was very encouraging for people who are struggling for the restoration of democracy.
In Islamabad, the army was waiting for him. Moments after landing, Sharif was deported back to Saudi Arabia. The military said that he had 3 more years to live in exile, according to the pact that he signed with them. In London, Benazir was working on the deal with Musharraf. He wanted to stop her from creating any trouble during his upcoming re-election, and she wanted withdrawal of the corruption charges against her.
The doors of dialogue have been kept open. We believe in negotiations and dialogue, and our dialogue has been focused on the facilitation towards democracy.
Benazir returned home with her name clear. The corruption charges were dropped. But the joy of her homecoming was cut short. Within hours of landing in Pakistan, her convoy was attacked by a suicide bomber. The blast that followed killed more than 100 people. Citing the rise in extremism, Musharraf imposed a state of emergency. Analysts say this was done to muzzle the Supreme Court. The court was to decide whether he was eligible to run for re-election recently while remaining army chief.
it cannot be on its own, and wherever it comes in confrontation with the aims and objectives of the army, it will continue to fall on its face.
The military arrested Supreme Court judges, human rights activists and politicians. Imran Khan was one of them. He now sees no hope for democracy in Pakistan.
It's important to have free and fair elections rather than controlled and manipulated elections which are going to take place on the 8th of January. Because the Election Commission is not independent, the caretaker government is not neutral.
Our party discovered that 30% of the voters have simply been disenfranchised. They're not going to be allowed to vote. And of those who are allowed to vote, 26% are fakes. They're all duplicates. We raised this with the Election Commission and international NGOs. The NGOs did a survey and found that our figures were correct.
As of now, there is nothing to indicate in Pakistan that the people will have their way. If there is any one people with one vision, with one perspective for Pakistan, will have their say for democracy or any such idea. Is the state which will allow the sluice gates will be opened, this much democracy we want, this much demonstrations we want, it will be all very controlled as it has been in the past.